Like the hat? Few food phenomena are as fascinating as the parent-child mealtime dynamic. If you have a kid or a parent in the house, you'll no doubt recognize this discourse.
Eat your peas.
I don't like peas.
You liked them the last time I made them for you.
No, I didn't. I hate peas.
Do you know that there are children in Ethiopia who are starving?
Then send them my peas.
Do you know what it takes for me to put dinner on this table every night?
Do you know how hard I have to chew to swallow it?
Why, you little...
Okay, hold it. Thank you. Wonderful demonstration, really. Very, very realistic, don't you think? Let's get those peas out of there. Those things smell horrible. You know, as they get older and adopt the modern American mobile mentality, things get even worse.
Gotta go, Mom.
Aren't you going to eat your breakfast?
No, I'll pick up a Big Whomp at Burger Bomb.
Before you know it, they disappear into the world without a clue as to how to feed themselves, which is why they so often fall prey to prepared meal replacement, drive-through, styrofoam-encased garbage. Can this be avoided? Of course it can, but only if you're willing to cook and eat with your kids. I believe that when kids work to produce their own food, they eat better. They learn self-reliance, teamwork, nutrition, and even how to work within a budget. Tear youngins away from that pesky old Pac-Man, and you'll soon... What?
Well, Pac-Man's older than I am.
All right, then, Frogger.
Oh.
It'll make them better people. You'll get more quality family time, and if you train them right, by the ripe old age of 14 or 15, they'll be cooking dinner for you. Where do you start?
Oh, right. Why soup? Everybody loves soup, especially when properly garnished.
Soup is delicious and nutritious, and soup making is one of the bedrock skills of the kitchen world. All you need is a few decent tools, a little know-how, a humble handful of ingredients, and a smidgen of patience to turn your kids into cooks and just about any soup into... You know, fire may get top billing on the list of man's big culinary breakthroughs, but flames didn't really reach their full potential until they teamed up with water. That's because water is capable of carrying not only heat, but flavor and nutrients. Now, nobody knows exactly who came up with the idea of cooking in water, but we do know that man was taking soup orders before he actually had a pot to make it in. For instance, in Neolithic Scotland, they used to stretch animal skins over campfires like a big kind of animal bowl. They'd fill that with water and do their cooking. Surprisingly, the skins would not catch on fire because the water inside kept them cool enough to avoid combustion. Now, in other parts of the world, they may skip the fire, move it away, and fill skins or adobe-lined holes with water, and then just move hot rocks from the fire to the water. As long as you had hot rocks, you would have boiling water. Luckily, today we have pots and pans. Of course, finding the right one of those can be a challenge, too. You sure you know how to work that thing?
Yeah, sure. I've done it plenty. Come on.
Okay, it's just, I really want you to document this whole process, okay?
Just go.
And one day, believe it or not, you're going to find that this is invaluable information. You're going to thank me, okay?
It's out there.
Here we go. The Modern Kitchenware store is a veritable jungle of choices.
How are you doing?
You know, if you want to catch one of those one day, you'll pay attention, because you got to be able to cook up some bait, okay? Now, as I was saying, when you come in here, you better be focused, or you're going to lose your way. Whenever I come, I always write a list, not only of the items I'm shopping for, but of the individual attributes that I'm looking for, okay? You with me?
Hey,
Just... Okay. First up, when you're looking for a soup pot, size is important, okay? Now, they come in a wide range of sizes, from little bitty 6-quart guys up to 50 quarts, but I really like a 10-quart soup pot. I think that it's not too little, it's not too big.
Hello.
Hey, hormone boy, you want to stay with me here? Now let's talk about shape. Soup pot shape, okay? I like a narrow pot, okay? Narrow enhances convection flow through the pot. It keeps the food, more of the food, submerged, and it limits evaporation, okay? A narrow pot's also nice because even a pot this size, you could cook a very small amount of liquid, say 2 quarts, because it doesn't spread out too much on the bottom.
I've got a problem here. Hey, come on. You got it.
Now, Next up, materials. Materials, very important. I like to see a stainless steel vessel, okay? It's not too heavy, but I want a nice heavy slab or sandwich of metal on the bottom to help the heat radiate out across the bottom of the pot. Okay, this metal would be too thin. This metal's nice and let me finish. I'm almost done here, okay? Next up, let's talk about handles. Handles are a very important attribute. They need to be big, not only on the pot itself, but on the lid. That way you can pick them up with, you know, you got your mitts on, okay? I'm almost done. Don't interrupt. You want the lid to be very well seating, okay? Very, very sturdy. Okay, I'm going to handle the camera this time, just in case you get distracted again.
Whatever.
Now, when it comes to vegetable soup, I like to use whatever is fresh and tasty looking.
You mean pretty is good?
Well, pretty's only part of it, but yeah, pretty is nature's way of saying, hey, animals, eat me up. What?
Nothing.
Okay, by and large, all produce should be heavier than it looks like it ought to be. Feel that ear of corn. Oh, by the way, that tassel at the end should always be moist and kind of sticky. Now, things like celery and carrots and beans should always be bright in color, and they should be rather turgid.
No, what's turgid mean?
Well, it means that they're snappy, okay? Floppiness is a sign of being old. Even color's a good sign, too. Oh, we're going to need 2 pounds of those. Check out these tomatoes. Ah, you see this deep color that goes all the way up to the top? This is a good sign. And give it a feel. Like all ripe fruit, that tomato's got just a little bit of give.
I thought that tomatoes were vegetables.
Well, the Supreme Court thinks so too. But the truth is, botanically, they are 100% fruits. Oh, now check out these leeks. There's a good lesson here. Whenever you see something that's got a green top, those tops should be crisp and green and clean. And check out the roots. If there are any roots, they shouldn't be all shriveled up. That's a sign they've been out of the ground too long, okay? Now, while we're visiting members of the lily family, let's talk about, garlic. You know, people tend to think that garlic lasts forever, but it doesn't. You always want to look for firm heads with dry, unmolded paper, and you never want to see green sprouts. That's a sure sign that the garlic is old and bitter.
Like you?
What? Come here, you little punk. I'm gonna... As you can see, the dish rack makes a perfect place to drain our vegetables. Now all we need is our pot. Say, Elton, would you mind running to the car and getting the pot? I forgot it.
Okay.
Cool, thanks. Oh, and hey, while you're out there, how about mowing the grass?
Ha! That's a good one.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's what I thought. You know, if kids and parents are going to coexist in the same kitchen and work without killing each other, figuratively or literally, we should probably do some kind of preparing for the event. I wonder what that would entail.
Hey, Alton.
Well, hello there.
How are you?
I'm good. Look who it is, folks. It's Barbara Beery. She's an expert on cooking with kids. How fortuitous. So, tell me something. I'm getting ready to do this whole cooking with the kid thing here. What can I do to be ready for this?
Well, it really comes down to just 3 things: space, tools, and time. First of all, if a child can walk up to the countertop and easily rest his elbows, that's the perfect work area. And if not, then they can go to the kitchen table.
Okay.
Secondly, tools. It's very important for a kid to have their own set of cooking tools so they can easily handle things.
Does this mean I have to go out and buy like every pot and pan and every knife all over again?
Absolutely not. You can use a lot of what you have, match the hand to the size of the tool, and yes, you may need to use a paring knife instead of a large knife for a smaller child, but that's perfect. You don't need to go out and buy everything.
Okay, good.
Lastly, and more important, make time and take time with your kids. We don't want to pass the stress of the 5:45 hurrying home from work trying to get dinner on the table when you're trying to teach kids to cook. Make the time, take the time. It will be enjoyable for you and for them. And remember, it's not about the destination, it's about the trip.
Okay, so space, tools, time.
Perfect.
Got it. Thanks a lot, Barbara.
Bye.
Bye. Thanks for dropping by. What was she doing here? Rule number 1, the cutting board. It is large, it is kept very, very clean, and it is kept stable by the use of some no-skid shelf liner.
What if I don't happen to have this on hand?
If you don't have said product on hand, you can use a couple pieces of wet paper towel. It works just as well. Rule 2, no open-toe shoes. Your sandals, you've changed your sandals to tennis shoes. Good boy, good instincts. Rule number 3, this is your knife. This is your board. They always stay together. If your knife is not actively cutting, it is on the board, not waving around in the air. Let's review. If you go to the refrigerator, you put the knife
On the board.
If you need to scratch your nose, you
Put it on the board.
put it on the board and then wash your hands. I think he's got it. Elton, my boy, it is high time you learn how to disassemble some vegetables. Are you ready?
Yes, I am.
We're ready. As you approach the board, we will take whichever hand we would ordinarily write with. Mine's the right, yours is the right, and we pick up the knife. Now, the knife should be held firmly, but not too tight, okay? It's not a baseball bat. Now, think of it as a golf club. That's good. Now, hold it so that it is at a 45-degree angle on the board. The point should be heading towards that corner of the board. The handle should be heading towards the back right corner of the board. And your arm and the blade should form a nice, straight line. Very, very good. Nice and loose, nice and loose. Now, the other hand is going to feed the food into the blade. We will set that there. You take a leek, I will take a carrot. Notice that our vegetables are prepped for success. For instance, large pieces of carrot have been split down the middle so that they will have a stable surface to sit on. Small pieces of carrot have been flattened a little bit on one side via vegetable peeler. Our leeks, of course, were split in half for washing, so they'll be nice and stable for us already. And potatoes, once peeled, are also flattened a little bit on one edge because these things will get away from you if you're not paying close attention. So, you have your leek, I have my carrot. We will begin. Now, the action of the hand, one, just moves the knife, and then we slice through, using the thumb to kind of feed the food into the blade. There you go. There you go. Think of the cutting board as a factory, perhaps, where food goes, ow! Just kidding. Where the food goes in this side and comes out the other side done. Remember, always slice through the food. Don't chop down towards the board.
Hello, how are my boys doing?
Oh, bother.
Stop, sweetie. Put that horrible thing down and just back away from the knife. How dare you endanger a child?
Mom, I'm 13.
I don't care, you're still my baby.
He is 13. You know, he's got to learn this stuff sometime, Marcia.
Oh, well, fine. If he's got to learn, then I will teach him.
Fine. Go ahead. Teach
Thank
away.
you very much. You know, I used to be a cateress. Okay, sweetie, and so we are going to chop. And we're chopping and chopping and ouch, it's too tight.
Oh, stop your whining. Live by the sword, die by the sword. After we cleaned up the mess and revived my sister here, Elton and I fabricated the rest of the veggies, so we're ready to commence soupage. At this point, Elton has parked our new pot over medium-low heat, and he's adding about 4 tablespoons of olive oil. He's going to kind of slosh that around, and as soon as it starts to ripple, he will add the leeks, and he will add the garlic, as well as just a little bitty pinch of salt to help pull out some moisture. Now that the aromatics are soft, we go with the first wave of veggies. Now, these are the harder vegetables that need a little additional time to cook. 2 cups of carrots, chopped, of course, 2 cups of potatoes, peeled and diced, and then 2 cups of green beans, fresh beans. And you can just break these into pieces. You can use your fingers. You don't have to use a knife. Now, since all these foods contain a little bit of sugar, they will benefit from some added heat. So we're going to raise that heat to medium, up to medium, and cook them for 4 to 5 minutes, stirring occasionally. Now time to add a little liquid in the form of 2 quarts of either chicken or vegetable broth. Now, I like homemade, but there would be certainly no shame in using store-bought. Soup will still be fantastic. Keep stirring, boy. Now we're going to turn the heat up to high and bring this just to a simmer. Did you bring it to high?
Yep.
Good. Well, now that we have attained a simmer, it's time for the second wave of vegetation. Now, these are the foods that don't need very long to cook. And we're going to start with 4 cups of tomatoes. Show them the tomatoes, Elton. Now, you notice that we've moved these into another container. Why? To make a point about safety. You see, just dumping vegetation in on top of extremely hot liquid could cause a safety problem. So we have moved our 4 cups of seeded and chopped tomatoes to this large strainer so that Elton can lower them gently into the liquid. Lower gently, lower gently. He gets them down to the liquid and lets them go. Okay? Now you've got a free platform for dumping in other goodies, like say 2 ears worth of corn kernels. Just dump those right on top of there and then lower those gently in. Now that is all of the hard and fast vegetation that will be going into this soup, but there is still time to add some seasoning. It would be a good time for pepper. Go get that pepper gun we made you in shop class. Go ahead, go ahead. You're gonna love this. Got it? Cool. Give us a few quick squirts there, Eldon. Excellent, excellent. That's enough, that's enough. Now, lower the heat, clamp on the lid, and simmer for another 25 to 30 minutes. Now, let's see how our vegetables are. There we go. You hold that. Now, this is what I call done. In fact, it's called fork tender. It means that the food will yield to a fork, but it doesn't fall apart. Now there's really nothing left to do but last moment seasoning. We're going to brighten up the flavor with a 1/4 cup of chopped parsley. Just dump that in and give it a stir. And then we're going to bring up the acidity level with just about a teaspoon or 2 of fresh squeezed lemon juice. Just squeeze that on there. Just make sure you don't let any seeds get in there. Those aren't good eats. Now there's nothing left to do but serve and eat.
Hey, how about some more pepper?
Don't point that thing, son. It might go off. No, we've had enough pepper for today.
That is good soup.
And it's so colorful, too.
And darn good for you. Let's not forget that.
Unc, I don't doubt that this is as good as vegetable soup gets, but...
But what?
But you see, strange though it may seem, some kids just
Don't get vegetable soup. I understand. I understand completely, but don't worry. I have another soup up my sleeve that is not only easily made by kids, but is adored by kids universally.
Great. Are you going to make it?
Nope. You are. In fact, I've taken the liberties of manufacturing a laminated recipe card for you and put it on a retractable janitor's keychain. There you go.
Sweet.
Great. Now my son is heir apparent to the Geek King.
Well, here we are in Kitchen Stadium for the culinary solo debut of my nephew, Elton. He's
Good luck, sweetie.
starting off by cutting a cucumber in half and spooning out the seeds. Nice little maneuver there. Now, notice that he's cutting it into long strips and chopping those strips into
Look
chunks.
at that. That is Where did he learn to hold his fingers like that? I've never seen that.
Well, you've never seen it because he's doing it correctly. You wouldn't have seen that in your house, would he? Okay, now he's moving on to a Granny Smith apple, which he is peeling, cutting half, and coring out with the melon baller.
That's
Nice.
very sharp, sweetie.
No, the melon baller is not really actually sharp. Now he's going on to tomatillos. Oh, notice that he's using the Monterey maneuver. I taught him that.
Oh, well, charming. I'll remember that for the police report.
Right, okay, now he's got 3 of those done, and notice that he's splitting his mise en place, putting half out onto a flexible cutting mat and half into the bowl. Okay, now he's taking the stuff from the mat and he's moving it over to the food processor. Since the soup is better when it's chunky, he's only going to process half of the foods he's sliced and diced. Excellent.
Food processor.
Food processor, yeah.
Oh, no. He'll lop off a finger.
No, he won't. They make those things so safe that even you could use it. Okay, he's adding to the rest of that. He's got a pound of seedless grapes, a cup of roasted walnuts, and a cup of plain yogurt. A cup of white grape juice, which I think he's laced with a teaspoon of rice wine vinegar. Very clever. 6 mint leaves. And he's just going to buzz that up with 9 or 10 pushes of that pulse button.
Yeah, well, we better have a pulse at the end of this or you won't.
Yeah, whatever. Okay, now he's going back over and mixing that in to the rest of the chunk. So he's got a whole range of texture going on there. Wrapping with plastic wrap. Good, he didn't forget that. And into the refrigerator for a 2 to 3 hour chill. A magnificent outing here in Kitchen Stadium. Bravo, bravo.
Good job, sweetie.
Wow, I've never had cold soup before.
Oh, you have so. I make tomato gazpacho every summer.
That was soup. I thought that was salsa.
Kids, what are you going to do with them?
Well, you can't kill them, so you might as well cook with them. Besides, if you don't teach them, who will?
TV shows?
Well, now that's a curious thought. Well, I imagine there are some quality culinary programs out there, but by and large, I think cooking should start in the home. Besides, cooking with your kids is good, clean, wholesome fun, and gosh darn it, who among us couldn't use some more of that?
Speak for yourself.
See you next time on Good Eats.